right. So you want to get the Magfed Paintball, eh? Brilliant decision. You're absolutely going to love it. And in this Tonka Tactical video, I'm going to reveal the 7 equipment must-haves to make you a threat on any field. So if you're ready, let's do it. Hey, okay, so you're thinking about getting to Magfed Paintball, eh? Well, you're absolutely going to love it because Magfed Paintball is very, very realistic, very, very tactical, very, very intense, and every shot counts. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the 7 essential things that you need to be a threat the very first time you play Magfed. But before I go on, let me tell you, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can win a free brand new Magfed marker, okay? So if you see my last video, you'll know you're already probably signed up. Well, I'm going to take that list and then this list, and you're going to have a chance, again, to win a brand new Magfed marker. But listen, if you haven't already, check out my Tonka Tactical Facebook group. We have almost 1,400 members, probably over 1,400 members at this point now, where we do a lot of amazing things to grow the community, just paintball community in general, all around the world. We give out new markers to new players, and you can have a chance to win brand new T15s and EMF 100s and all sorts of paintball gear. So check it out. The link is right here. And also one more thing, I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors, Tier 1 Armament, your online paintball store for all your Magfed needs, and supplier of MCS gear. So listen, if you're in Canada and you love MCS gear, which I'm going to show you a whole bunch of that stuff here, you can go to Tier 1 Armament, the link is right here, for even greater discounts than if you were to buy it from MCS store in the States. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Tactical Sports and Airsoft in Barrie. Thankfully for them, man, all this is possible. And everything that you see here, for the most part, you can get from these stores. So check them out. They're great suppliers, outstanding people, and very, very knowledgeable. Okay, so having said that, let me go through the markers. So, you know what? Sometimes some people want to maybe kind of dip their toe in the pool of Magfed. So I always tell people, if you're deciding to go from hopper fed or speedball or whatever the case may be, you may want to try a transition marker. And a transition marker is this guy right here, okay? It's a Stormer Elite. And by the way, if you join the Tonka Tactical Facebook group, what we do is we give new markers to new players at big events. This happens to be one of them, so I won't be firing this marker because I'm going to be giving it away at the next new event, or next big paintball event. So yeah, check it out. Check us out again at Tonka Tactical Facebook group. But anyways, so, and I wanted to give it again, thanks to my sponsors here. So anyways, this is called a Tippmann Elite. Now, a lot of my markers here are Tippmann because Tippmann, as if you don't know, are a great marker, very, very durable. Man, you can throw these things in the water or whatever, and it still fires. The great thing about this marker, and why I consider it an entry-level marker, is because you can have a hopper too. So if you don't like Magfed, you can always turn back to using a hopper fed. Now, with this, a single trigger or point there to release your mag, throw it in there. Now, the good thing is this. One, this mag here, if you want to upgrade to another gun, which I'm going to show you in a second, a TMC, they use the same mags. This marker here is semi-automatic. It is not fully auto, which means every time you pull the trigger, you're firing a round, as opposed to holding it down and a whole bunch of balls fly out of the other end, okay? This is a great marker. Again, the great thing is you can turn it back to a hopper fed if for whatever reason you don't like mag fed. So then here is a TMC. This is a great marker as well. Again, I consider this an upgrade from the Elite here. This is, again, much like this one, semi-automatic. So again, every time you press a trigger, a ball is flying out. And like I said, it uses the same mag. Now, this one here, as this one, it only shoots round ball, but there are mods that you can watch on YouTube, where it teaches you how to mod this up so you can fire first strikes, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, okay? Great, great marker. Again, this is a Tippmann TMC, very, very durable. In fact, it was one of the most common markers that you see in the field, all right? Now, this one here, this one I absolutely love. Now, this is called the Tippmann Phenom X7 Electro. This is a brilliant, brilliant marker. This originally came as a hopper-fed marker, okay? But with MCS, they have a mod kit that you can turn this marker into a mag-fed marker. I don't have the kit here. I'm going to actually be ordering it, but I'm going to actually be ordering it because I'm Canadian through Tier 1. Now, here's the cool thing with this marker. It is not only semi-auto, which I'll show you right here. It's not only semi-auto, but you can turn it to full auto, okay? And the cool thing is, with this semi-auto, I guess you could say it's a downgrade from this marker, which I'll show you in a second. So every time you press the trigger, 7 rounds fire right out. So you got to keep pressing it, and it'll keep firing 7 rounds every time. It is an amazing, amazing marker. Very, very reliable. Ball breaks are few and far between. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I had a ball break in this marker. Actually, I'll show you what it sounds like. Actually, I'll show you what this one sounds like as a semi. All right. Now, just to let you know, this is all, I checked all the markers here. Everything is empty, no rounds. So with this one, what's really cool, this is like an AR platform kind of style. What you do, before you have to fire, throw in the mag, you cock it back, and then you fire. Like that. Single fire every time. All right. Turn it back to safety. Always, always turn it back to safety whenever you're not using the marker. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you this guy here, the X7 Phenom. Again, it is fully auto, kind of a modified fully auto, where, like I said, it fires 7 rounds at a time. So let me just put this in here. Normally, I use a quick release for this marker, but so I have to kind of change the adapter here. So here's the semi. I think it'll fire like this. There's the semi. And then here's fully auto. Oh, I can't go fully auto because I don't have any rounds in here. So I can't fire the semi. Damn, I totally forgot about that. But it's pretty wild. It is pretty wild when you fire it. But I'll fire this one, maybe, when it has fully auto. Actually, you know what? I think it will. All right, so anyways. Now, this is a great, great marker. I should also mention, for whatever reason, they discontinued this marker. Again, in my opinion, it's one of the best markers Tippmann has ever created. Why they decided to discontinue it, I have no clue. But if you can find it used on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, which they probably don't have it, or eBay, pick it up. That's why I picked up this one. I have another one at home that I bought actually from Tactical Sports a long time ago. So they're kind of hard to find, but when you find them, you're going to love it. Now, let me show you this guy here. This is my main baby. This is a guy that I always use. This is the M17A1. It is an outstanding, outstanding marker. Goes fully automatic, so as soon as you press the trigger, it goes semi and fully. I'll show you right here. Let me just switch it over. There we go. So there's, you can see that. There's safety, there's semi, there's fully auto. It's a wicked, wicked marker. The great thing about this, once you press the trigger on fully auto, it'll launch all the balls. Fully auto. Beautiful marker. And you know what? I'll tell you, when you have a fully automatic weapon, especially when you're indoors, it's a real, real threat. It is outstanding. It is outstanding a marker. It is probably, in my opinion, one of the best markers. The T15 is also a fantastic, it's a first strike T15. It's also an excellent, excellent marker. In fact, it's probably the next one I'm going to purchase after this one. So again, if you want to start off, what I would suggest, start off with an entry-level marker, a transitional marker, and then, if you really like it, and you have some extra money, go for a more, I guess you could say, a more advanced marker. All right, so let's talk about the next step. Okay, so the next thing you need, there's my marker, there are my rounds. The next thing you need is mags. Listen, mags are really, really important. Now this is a small mag, but you can get a whole bunch of different other mags because you're going to need a bunch of mags. Why? Because really, you only have like 14 to 20 rounds in each mag. So you have to have a bunch in case, obviously you need enough rounds to kind of carry through a mission or go do a firefight or whatever the case may be. So you need extra mags. I normally carry 3 in the front, 2 on the sides here, 2 on the sides, 2 on the other side. So around 7 mags, plus my secondary rounds, and I have my secondary marker rounds here as well. And I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So mags are really, really important. So you got to stock up on them, okay? Because again, in a firefight, you can go through these really, really quickly, all right? Especially if you use fully auto, which I don't really recommend. Only in full semi-auto is the best way to go unless you're in an intense firefight or you're doing cover fire or whatever, suppressive fire, whatever the case may be. But typically, you're going to mostly use semi-auto, okay? Which takes me to the next thing. Okay, so rounds, really, really important, okay? You saw these fly out of my mag, but there are basically 2 types of rounds, okay? You have round ball rounds, which I'll show you in a sec. You have round ball rounds, which just like it sounds, they are round balls, okay? Versus first strike, which are these guys right there, okay? Now, first strike has these fins back here, okay, as you can see right there, and it's basically a half a round ball, okay? A half a round ball. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is this. With a round ball, it's really influenced by the wind, okay, wind resistance. Unlike a golf ball that has these dimples in it, these are purely round balls. So when the wind, if it's a heavy or a really windy day or whatever, these balls will deviate and these balls will curve. So the accuracy is not necessarily there, and you're going to go through more magazines or more rounds, right? Whereas these ones, because of their fins, which you'll see right there, okay, because of their fins, these fire extremely accurate, almost like real bullets, okay? It's actually pretty intense. So when you're playing a Magfed only game, you'll hear these rounds whizzing, like whistling by your ears. The round balls you don't hear, but these ones will whistle by your ear as these fins spin throughout the air. Okay, so these markers here, this one, well, mostly this one here, the Stormer Elite, is purely round ball. But like I said earlier, this marker here you can modify to run first strikes, and I believe the Phenom as well. This one definitely you do. Now I'll tell you, the first strike rounds are relatively expensive. They can range up to 50 cents a shot. And you think, oh shit, that's a lot of money, right? But when you think about it, now I only really run first strikes. If I'm playing a game that allows first strikes, I'll only run first strikes. Why is that? Because I want every shot to count. The other thing is this. When you fire round balls, because they're deviating, you could potentially be firing a bunch of shots trying to nail your enemy. Whereas this, if you aim it and you have your scope calibrated correctly, one shot will land exactly where you aim it. It is brilliant. So in actual fact, when it comes down to it, the shots per kill ratio is probably a lot cheaper to run with this guy than it is with round ball. Okay, so again, I always recommend people to run first strikes. And plus, not only that, but it makes your gameplay that much better. It makes you more a threat, because when you're in the fire or you want to snipe someone off, man, just take one shot, bam, you eliminate the enemy. Fire another guy, boom, eliminate that guy. Just peg them off. It is brilliant. So I strongly recommend you get first strike rounds. Now, I also want to mention a couple things. I forgot to mention this box mag. In terms of the mags, you can also run a box mag as well, okay? This holds roughly about, I believe it's about 250, 300 rounds, as you can see here. I bought this, again, from MCS. But again, if you're Canadian, I strongly advise you check out Tier 1 Armament Store. You'll get it at a cheaper price. Not all Magfed only games will allow these box mags, but they allow for heavy machine gunners and stuff like that. They'll allow you to use that. All right? Now, I want to show you one other thing. We talked about the mags earlier, but I want to show you, where's my little first strike round? I shall show you this one. There are two types of mags, okay? There's D-shaped mags, which you can see by that, D-shape over here. You'll see at the back here, it is straight, whereas the front has a curved front there, whereas this one is purely round, where you can fit the round ball. And the difference is, when you have this D-shaped mag, because if you can look at the profile of your first strike, it's like a D. There's a flat end here and a rounded end over here. The D-shaped mag is specifically designed to fit first strike rounds. Now, what's the difference? Can you use one interchangeably? Well, if you have a round ball mag, which is this one here, which is designated by that square, that round kind of formation or characteristic, you cannot put a first strike round in here. But with this one that has a D format, you can both use first strike and round ball. So if you're going to pick a mag that is first strike round capable. That way you have more versatility. You can use whatever ball you want. Because there's some games that won't run, you're not allowed to run first strikes, right? So this gives you the flexibility to run both kind of balls. All right? All right, so that's really, really important. Again, if you can, get first strikes. It'll make your gameplay that much better, and again, makes you more of a threat. All right, so let's go to the next thing. Okay, so let's talk about barrels. Very, very important, okay? So listen, you can have smooth barrels, which you'll see in the Tipman here, and this Tipman here, and this one here. Okay, a smooth barrel is decent. It's not that good, but a rifle barrel, which you can see from this image here, which is what I use, it's much better for accuracy of your first strike rounds. Because a smooth barrel, it's good for round ball, right? It just fires it right through. With a rifle barrel, it makes your shot a lot more accurate because of the boring in there, because of the rifle kind of, I guess, the grooves in there, it allows the first strike rounds to spin and it becomes much more accurate when you fire that round out of your marker. So, now, what I use is hammerhead barrels. I've done a lot of research, and I just found from personal preference that hammerhead barrels work the best. In fact, I use it for my primary and my secondary marker. And again, you know, there's pros and cons to all different types of barrels. I just found that, again, from my research, hammerhead was the best, and it's never let me down. And again, it gives me that pinpoint accuracy. So rifle barrels are really, really important. So do your due diligence. You know, go with either smooth if you're mostly using round ball, but if you're using first strike, I'm telling you, you got to use a rifled barrel. It will level up your game significantly. All right, so let's talk about the next thing. Okay, so let's talk scopes here. Now this one's a bit excessive, but in another video when I show you my loadout, you'll understand why I have this long scope here. But there are different types of scopes, okay? You have red dot scopes that you can see right here. Okay, there's a red dot. You can get hollow scopes, which is this bigger guy right there. Okay, now I'm not going to go through the difference between hollow scopes and red dots and stuff like that, but I'll tell you just quickly, if you're going to use one or the other, it is better to use a hollow scope, especially if you're using a zoom lens, because like a flip zoom lens, like a 3 times or whatever, the image will not enlarge and it won't be blurry. So it's very, very clear when you shoot at your enemy or your target. Okay, I prefer hollow sights, but now I should also mention one thing actually. Sights. Do you really, because if round balls kind of deviate with the wind, do you really need a sight? Not necessarily. You know, you can use these iron sights. and they're perfectly fine. If you're playing indoor games where there's less kind of wind that can deviate your shot, sights are really, really good because even though you're using round balls, especially if you're using quality round balls, they have a tendency of going a lot straighter, okay? Again, indoor versus outdoor. So you may want to get a scope, a red dot, or whatever the case may be. Having said that, if you're using first strikes, you definitely have to get a scope, okay? I strongly recommend you get a scope because, like I said, if the barrel's on point, the scope's on point, your accuracy is exceptional, okay? Now, what I use is a 3 to 4 times zoom, and I just like to do that because a couple of reasons. Number one, I can get a clear image of my shot. Nice reticle in here, which I'll show you. Here's the picture right over here, okay? That's what it looks like with my scope. And again, I prefer a 3 time as opposed to a red dot or a halo sight simply because it's just, for me, there's no, I guess the halo sight kind of blocks the image in a sense, whereas this with the reticle, it's just really, really crisp. I get a zoom up so I know exactly where I'm going to shoot with my first strike. So that's why I have that. I'm actually going to put a scope cam that's going to be mounted right on the scope as well so I can videotape actually what I see through this scope. So when you're watching my videos, you'll actually see my real perspective, okay? So that's why I have this larger scope here because it's what fits perfectly on the back end here. All right? So scopes are really, really important, especially if you use first strikes. In fact, if you ask me, it is essential that you use some kind of scope or some kind of sights, okay? Round ball, not so important, but definitely with first strikes. All right? So let's talk about the next thing. Okay, so the stock. Now listen, there are a lot of different kinds of stocks. You know, some people, when they run Magfed, they don't like to use a remote line like this guy here, okay? Instead, they like everything more realistic. So they have different stocks where you can fit your air tank right into the stock so you're carrying it like this without any hose extension, okay? I think they're decent. However, I'm a big fan of folding stocks as opposed to these stiff, rigid stocks I don't fold in. The reason why that is because folding stocks, because I play a fair bit of, there's a place called PRZ, which I'm a big, big supporter of. I love that field. So you're playing a lot of inside these big buildings, okay? So a lot of indoor. So it's an indoor and outdoor field. So when you're indoor, I like folding stocks because you're going down the hallway. It gives you a lower profile as opposed to one of these with a rigid stock, right? With a folding stock or a collapsible stock, it gives you a smaller profile so you can go it around to the corners and again minimize the chance of you being noticed and definitely getting shot, right? Again, with my Tipmen, I have this as well. Actually, these are all from MCS. Again, I told you I'm a big fan of MCS. They have brilliant, brilliant stuff there. This folding stock is from MCS as well, and I love it. It's nice and small. It's compact. It's really lightweight. It's a beautiful, beautiful stock. So, you know what? The negative with having a folding stock is that you do have to use a remote line. I'm trying to kind of get rid of that, actually. I want to remove this remote line. So what I'm ultimately going to do, I'm talking to actually Tactical Sports and Barry, where what we're going to try to do is try to rig it up so I can pull a smaller tank onto the end here with the hose attached to this nipple there so I can fold it and have the tank right here so I'm not using any remote line, okay? So again, it's really user choice. Again, I like folding stock because, again, it lowers that profile, like I said a bunch of times. And also, it just, it keeps everything nice and tight and close. It gives you that versatility of using full stock or folding stock for any purposes, right? But again, try different guns out. Try different markers out. See what fits best for you. All right, so let's talk about the next thing. Okay, chest rig. Really, really important. And there's a whole bunch of different varieties that you can get. I've had almost every single thing that you can use until I found this chest rig, which I absolutely love. Again, the reason why I like this chest rig, everything is right here for me. My secondary rounds are up here, which I don't have on me right now. They're on my leg drop here. Everything's right here, right in reaching distance, and everything's tight. The other thing is this. One, when you get hit by, if you ever played paintball, it does cause some serious pain sometimes, and this will give you that added protection, okay? For me, I don't care about the pain, but it's just more convenient for carrying my mags so I can crawl around without me losing my mags, okay? Now, I'll show you another one. It's called a battle belt. Now, I started using this first, and it was decent. Well, basically what happens is this fits right around your waist just like this. These shoulder straps here wrap around your shoulder, give you that added support. And again, the good thing about this versus this one, this is a lot more lightweight. It's a lot cooler than this, especially in the summer when it's crazy hot out and you're wearing all black. You can get really hot, really dehydrated pretty fast. So this is a chosen kind of rig that a lot of people choose. The reason why I don't particularly like it is simply because what I found was that it tends to, with the mag weight, it tends to kind of roll outwards this way, and it can expose your mags and it can fly out, right? I have a pretty thin waist. I think my waist is like, I don't know, 32, 33. So I couldn't find anything really tight and snug. So again, it got so loose, I haven't used this thing in years. But it's really good. And let me tell you one other thing. What I've done with these mags, now listen, you can get a whole bunch of different mag holders, okay? You can get these clamshells, which are really, really good. These ones here, they're decent. They have a tendency of the mags flying out. That's another reason why I don't use this particular battle belt. But the cool thing is this. You can use mag couplers, which if you don't know what that is, a mag coupler is basically allows you to connect two mags together for a quick mag change. So if one mag runs out, all you do is just simply pop it out and stick the other mag into the mag well. So a really, really efficient way to run MagFed. But also with this, you can have the mag coupler and it fits in nicely right in there, as you can see. Okay, so at one time, you can pull them both out and then slam one of them into your mag well, and then you're good to go. All right? Now listen, one other thing. With this, again, you can buy this all at the suppliers of my what the hell's going on? Oh, I just dropped this. Can't lose this. But you can get these at all the my sponsor stores, the online stores and stuff like that. When you buy a rig, okay, remember a couple things. Number one, you need a mag drop, okay, a pouch here, so that when you finish your mag, okay, you can either slam it back into here or more efficiently just drop it into your mag pouch here or your mag drop there, and it'll hold it nicely. The other thing is, if you're running a remote, you need a tank holder, which sits right in the back here, okay? You don't really feel the weight at all. You might think, oh man, this gets heavy. You really don't feel it at all. But again, I'm slowly going to get away from the tank and the remote line. I just got to figure out and rig things up onto my folding mag. All right, so listen, that is it. But let me tell you two other things, the kind of bonus things that if you have the money, I would recommend you do. Now, having said that, the startup costs initially for MagFed can be relatively high, depending on what route you go and the equipment you buy. So I always tell people, don't necessarily buy everything all at once. If you have the money, what the hell? You can buy anything you want at any time, right? You can buy it all together. But if I were you, just buy the basics and then expand thereafter. So you don't necessarily need a scope. If you're buying this, okay, or if you join the Tonka Tactical Group and we give this to you as a new player, well, you get this for free, right? But you don't have to get the scope. You don't have to get all these different things. Just buy the basic stuff first, okay? Make sure you really like MagFed, which I'm sure you will, all right? So let me tell you two more things. Number one, secondary. This here is my Tippmann TPX. Brilliant, brilliant gun, okay? The reason why I have a secondary is because, again, it gives you a low profile if you're indoors and stuff like that. And also, if you run out of rounds in your mag, it is much more efficient to pull out your secondary and start firing than it is to reload that mag, okay? So in an intense firefight, this will help you really, really well. It'll get you out of a lot of bad jams, okay? So I recommend that you get a sidearm. Now, the reason why I have a Tip-X here is because, again, I love Tipman. And with this, you can get the 7-round mag, which I'll show you right here. You get the 7-round mag, which is a smaller one, okay? Or you can get the extended mag, which is this guy here. And I think it holds like 14 rounds. So that's what it looks like. And it fits into this. Oh, actually, this is a beautiful holster. So if you're going to get a holster, get this new holster from MCS. It is brilliant. I have a whole video on the MCS new holster. Check it out. It's just a brilliant, brilliant holster. Very light, secure, and all that sort of stuff. Now, I should also mention... Okay, I apologize for the technical difficulties here. What I didn't realize when I went back to go edit the video, this whole section got cut off. So I came back to the office to cut this section because it's a really, really important section. And that is, going back to my Tip-X here, one of the great things about this particular marker is that it is very, very versatile in the sense that you can get a lot of modification kits for this marker. You know, like always go to MCS or go to Tier 1 Armament, your supplier of MCS stuff if you're from Canada, like I already mentioned. The great thing about this, you can take this handgun and turn it into a long gun with all the different mods that you can get for this particular marker. Again, if I haven't already mentioned it, you can make this first strike compatible. If you look into the breech there, you can see, let me try to get the angle there, you can see a D-shaped form there, or shape, and that's specifically for first strikes. So if you want to start off with an excellent marker, there's an outstanding marker as your first marker, this is a good one because, like I said, you can turn it into a long gun or keep it as a handgun. You can do all these different mods. This skin here that you see right here, I got modded by my buddy Aaron. I'll give you the link down in the show notes below if you want to get yours done as well. It's pretty wild, man. I get a lot of compliments on it. So anyways, let me show you one other thing, okay? And that is this tack light, okay? Now, again, you don't have to get everything all at once. Like I said, get things in stages. And really, you only need a tack light if you're playing a lot of indoors, which I tend to do, again, playing at PRZ and stuff like that, or night games, okay? Because as you'll see in this video here, it is crucial, because if you can't see anything, you're gonna get nailed. You don't know where the hell you're going. So as you can see in this video, I'm going upstairs or checking out stairs, going down these dark hallways and in these big rooms. And again, enemies can be hiding anywhere. They could have nods or whatever the case may be, and they can snap you off. But you know what? With the tack light, if they have nods, you can blind them out. And again, you can see around the room and be very, just cautious. You can see everything you need to see. And obviously where the light shines is where you're aiming. And when you see someone, bam, you can take a shot. All right? Okay, so as you can see in this video, it's really, really dark in here. And without this tack light going up the stairs and going down the hallways and stuff like that, I'd be as blind as a bat, okay? So this really comes in helpful, really, really handy to kind of look around, sneak around, and things of that nature. The cool thing with this tack light is that it is all thumb controlled by these little buttons here, okay? So if I press in one button like this, I can hold it down for as long as I want and then release it when I don't need it. If I press this other button, which is right there, I don't know if you can see that clearly, but if I press down this, it's the pure on and off button that keeps it on at all times. I rarely use that button because I like the control, so I simply use my thumb to hold it down whenever I need it and release it for a quick release or turn off. All right? So really, really important. I strongly suggest you check it out and purchase it. Again, down the road. Don't buy everything all at once. But listen, I hope that you found this video really, really informative. You're going to love it if you're like everybody I know that's turned to MagFed. You're absolutely going to love MagFed. Again, the intensity is just unreal. It's unreal. All right? So listen, how can you win a brand new marker? Real simple. All you have to do, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. Also, write down a comment below saying that you want to win it. And you also have to join my Tonka Tactical Facebook group. Again, join the over 1,400 members because a lot of cool things are happening. And then what I'm going to do In about a week or so, when I get this list and the list from the other video, I'm going to combine it all together, go live. If I don't go live, I'm going to create a video on showing how I got the winner and so on and so forth. It's purely randomized. And then what you're going to do, whoever wins, they have a chance to win maybe a T15 or an EMF 100 or whatever gun we're running at a Tonka tactical event, which again, you'll be notified in the Facebook group. So thank you so much. And lastly, listen, please check out our sponsors. They're outstanding, outstanding guys. They really, really help us a lot. They make our group it's what allows us to give out these markers and so on and so forth to new players. And listen, if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I try to respond to every question as they come in as quickly as possible. I have a kind of a really busy practice, so I try to always make time to get back to you as soon as I can. So please check us out. Check out the Facebook group. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Anyways, I hope this video helps. I'll see you on the field. Tonka out.